who was Chad Wicks? Like I have no idea who the guy
I'm
even
still
was.
trying to figure out who that fucking guy is. I don't think anyone really knows. I don't even think he knows.
Did you get
No,
along with
he's
him? I know the whole breakup story, but when you first
yeah,
got together, like when you first met him, you first started teaming, did you like
man.
maybe this could work or no?
He's 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 a he's a goofy bastard,
Okay.
and I think he just has, unfortunately, a lot of immaturity issues, like developmentally. He's not like all there. Man, I mean, I wish the guy the best. I mean, he just has a lot of, I think he just has a lot of stuff that goes on with him, and I don't know what it all is, but I just think he's got a lot of issues, unfortunately. But he would always come off super nice to everybody and smiling like, ear to ear grin all the time. But there was something like not not real or truthful about it in a ways, like it came off kind of fake. And it's kind of hard unless you're around him and because like you see him smiling all the time, you just think he's just some nice guy. But it just seemed there's also this shadiness that came off. And I tried so hard to work with him and talk to him and just try and make the best of the situation, because you don't always pick your tag partner.
Right.
So, I mean, I had a great tag partner before him, Chris Cage, who was uh, Kalen Croft for a moment up in the WWE as well.
Good
Great guy,
worker.
great
Good
guy,
worker.
great guy, good worker, and just another guy that unfortunately didn't get to be around there as long, but he's a solid worker. And we had a great time being tag team together. But um, but when it comes down to it, as hard as you try with your tag partner, if he doesn't get certain things, not just like, in ring stuff, but I mean just like outside the ring, how to not rub people the wrong way. It's tough, because it's not hard to get heat by association when your
Of
tag
course.
partner's got
Of
issues. And
course.
that's pretty
Yeah.
much what happened when we were up there on SmackDown. Which when during that time that we were up there, you hear it a lot more now, about from some of the guys that were up there or getting up there around that time, that it was a pretty like cancerous environment, like in that
Right.
locker room, from
Yeah.
a lot of standpoints. But like, once
Sure.
again, you were just happy to be there and just trying to make the best of it. So yeah, which is what I did. So.
Let's talk about some of the teams you worked with when you guys were up there. It wasn't a hotbed for tag team wrestling at that time, you know?
No, and that's what
Yeah.
sucked. That's what sucked so bad, was that, man, over the years, I mean, it's been and I think this is one of the WWE's um problems, or things that they really lack on, is making the most out of every type of division. I
Right.
mean, that's one of the things I loved about WCW, that I think they did a really good job with, for a long time. And the WWE did it off and on, but like they really did well with like making all the titles mean something, and
Right.
storylines for all the titles mean something. Like in WCW, man, the cruiserweight division was fierce. It was
Yeah.
awesome. Storylines were great. You had your Intercontinental, your US, I mean, you had all the great belts. I mean, all the great titles and stuff, and great storylines going. You had the NWO versus, Wolfpack and all that other stuff. It was so good. And I just feel like WWE had their moments and times where their tag teams were really good, and they really had a good you know, stable of tag teams. And I just wish I was there for that, because for me
Right.
at the time, you know, I was, and obviously I was just one of the lackluster ones, some of the others. But I mean, and not to take away from the other tag teams, but I mean, they just didn't put the emphasis on it either to make it because maybe some of us, the tag teams, we had the talent. Like, I know Eminem had the talent, and they did pretty good with what they were doing. I mean, I love
Right.
Eminem. I thought they were great, and they started their gimmick back in OVW, and it's
Right.
fantastic. but I mean, like we were wrestling like LOD with
Hide and
Heidenreich and
Reich.
Animal, so that was fun. But like we were wrestling like the Mexicools and
Right.
what's his face, Paul London and Spanky, and guys like that, and Scotty Too Hottie and Funaki, guys like
Right.
that. So those were like some of the guys that we were wrestling back then. I mean, I'd say the best tag team or most notable tag team that I got to even wrestle wasn't even in the WWE at the time. I mean, they were there, but it wasn't on TV that I got to wrestle. I got to wrestle the Dudley Boys a couple times, which was great, and funny enough, like you always hear how Bubba's such an asshole, and or maybe you don't hear it, but I hear it all the time. But Bubba was really cool with me, and he had I was going over on him, and they helped us with the match and gave us some good ideas for some different things we could try, and gave us feedback on things, and maybe it was because we were both short, and they didn't feel threatened by us, so maybe they're cool with us.
I love
but
Bubba. I always got
yeah,
along with Bubba.
yeah, I
He's
mean,
come on the
like it.
podcast. I've known him forever.
Yeah, and it's funny. Like I mean, he probably wouldn't even remember me, but I got along with him just fine the times that I talked to him and worked with him. But I think it's also, sometimes us being Northeast guys, we can come off as a little rough and harsh and stuff like that, and
Right.
uh and I think it's sometimes, even if we're being, funny, or it could come off a little different sometimes. So yeah, but maybe that's it. But I mean, and then some people are just, soft. So
How long were you actually on the main roster for?
I was only on the main roster, man. Phew. I was under contract with them for like 3 years, but I was only on the main roster like 8 months. 8 months, like up there. Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah. So, but like, it was funny because, we got up there and we were doing our thing, and then we had, the whole fight thing happen with us in Mexico City, between Chad and I. And then like I guess like we did like another tour in like we were in Mexico, hanging out, and then we did a tour in Thailand, Japan, and then right after that it was like uh right around like I guess like February, March, we got the call from Johnny Ace wishing us the best in our future endeavors, and that, hey, wrestling's a revolving door. We just, you can come back here again at some time. We just got to let your characters cool off so they forget about you. That's what I'd always get. So yeah.
If people want to reach out to you, promoters want to book you,
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
the
If
best way?
anything like that, they could feel free, hit me up on Facebook. That's the easiest way. Just easy to find me there, Tank Toland or John Toland, and just you can feel free to message me there. That's how I usually get most of my bookings. I just, I need to pop on there and check my messages more often. But yeah. So, but other than that, yeah, I'm open for bookings, interviews, whatever. Just always still love working. So until I can't work any longer. So I love it.
Awesome.